And we are live. It's still like reads it out to me. Like it's like recording in progress. I don't know
You
why
can't
it
hear it
started
in
doing
the
it.
replay.
No, I know. I just don't know why it does that now.
Welcome back to the post credits podcast. It's been not that long, like 5 days or something, but
Yeah.
we we got it. So we have some stuff lined up, but today we're doing Hawkeye because I just finished.
Another Marvel
And
project.
another Marvel project. But I think the Marvel stuff will probably slow up after this because there's not another release till May.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, though, I don't know. I feel like we should rank the projects, but that could be separate. That could be in this. That could be
Yeah.
in our
Um,
speculation video. We'll see.
I was thinking about it. I think we should briefly touch on phase four just as a whole.
Yeah, we could do that. That's fine.
But I think we should have a separate one later. Because
Okay.
there's a lot of things I want to talk about in phase four that
Yeah,
relate to
for
Hawkeye.
sure. Because
I've just been
in just
thinking
a
about it.
short span, there's been a lot of releases.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, today's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
The finale came out 2 days,
2 days.
or was it last night?
Technically
No, it was
yesterday.
two.
No,
Yeah,
wait.
yesterday it came out, but I watched it at midnight.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why.
you just watched it at midnight. Yeah.
But yeah, and no surprise, but our predictions were quite accurate. I mean,
Hmm. They were. Yeah.
whatever. But and it was Kingpin, like predicted by many, I guess. But
Yeah.
let's get into it on the show, I guess. General thoughts, and we'll talk about the finale specifically.
Okay. I was thinking about it, and like how critics do that thing where they have like a one sentence, two sentence review. It's like,
I do, yeah. On Rotten Tomatoes, they always have their
yeah,
little
yeah.
brief
I
one.
was I was thinking about like how I would summarize this show and like why I think I like it so much. And the what I came up with was it's a feel good show that returns to Marvel basics.
Yeah,
And I want to elaborate just on obviously it's a feel good show, it's a Christmas
yeah,
show. Um, but by returning to Marvel basics, I think this show is on the exact opposite spectrum of Loki.
hmm
Loki is what I mean, its purpose was to take Marvel or the MCU in like a completely new direction. Obviously, it has like a previous character that was on, but it's like it introduced a bunch of new characters and it introduced multiverse, which is a huge concept that we
yeah,
haven't seen. Um this show, I mean, just like for starters, I mean, it has Hawkeye, one of the original six. And I think by returning to Marvel basics, I think something that Phase 4 has been lacking is likable characters.
hmm
And I think what makes Marvel so good is it makes really, really good characters that you side with, that you feel for, like, I mean, all the original Avengers, the three main ones that got the most screen time are like favorites, Tony, Steve, and Thor.
yeah,
And like they got some of the best arcs in the MCU, and I think that's why they are liked the most. And I think they finally did that for Hawkeye, and they did that for Kate Bishop. And I think that's why this show ranks higher than most projects in Phase 4.
yeah. I mean, I'd have to think about it, but I do think this is my favorite Marvel Disney Plus series. And I think the criticism that like it's too low stakes and the villains are like a joke, like I like that it embraces like the ground level threat.
Yeah,
Daredevil kind of does that too, except for when they introduce the hand and stuff. But like for the most part, it knows that its stakes aren't really life threatening. Like obviously Clint has to deal with his past, but it's not a sky beam. It's not the whole town being kidnapped and we have to fight a witch. Like it like embraces the role of being like an action flick. And I like that because Falcon and Winter Soldier, the issue was they were kind of a small scale story. Then they tried to tie it with Super Soldier Serum. I was like, all right. And then they tied it with a whole social message, which is also okay. But it the reason it bothered me is because that's not what it was, but it was trying to be something else. Hawkeye completely took on what it was and
yeah, yeah.
had fun
No,
with it.
I think Hawkeye, like the fact that it doesn't take its villains very seriously, made the show more enjoyable.
Mm,
I mean, Kate like joked around with them, built a relationship with these villains, and I feel
hmm
like it like knew what it was doing, and it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
That they were like not taking this very seriously. Like the tracksuit mafia weren't supposed to be like serious threats that are like menacing
Yeah.
and are gonna like kill these characters. Like you knew that wasn't gonna happen from the beginning.
hmm
Um, And I think some of the show's flaws start to show when it does try to take itself too seriously.
Agreed.
And I think there are a lot of shows that have this kind of style that can incorporate serious messages. And I think this show kind of didn't hit exactly what it was supposed to. Like Kate's whole thing with like Hawkeye's warning that this world is one that requires sacrifices
Yeah.
and requires loss. And I think that that message just didn't stick. Like it was explored, but I don't think it had any consequences for Kate. And I think it would have been cool to see her character get a loss that would have like shocked her into thinking like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. And they try to do it with them splitting up, and she was like, yeah, no, I was so hopeful, I was so, optimistic. um but it didn't really incorporate the main message that Hawkeye was trying to give.
I think the one time it did, but it fell a little flat. Like I think they should have hammered it home more was
Yeah,
when she arrests her mom and her
yeah,
mom's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
is
yeah.
this what heroes do? And she like goes through with it. But when her mom says that, like that's kind of a messed up message, especially from her mom, who she's
Yeah,
trusted her whole life.
yeah.
But Kate doesn't really have a reaction to it. And I feel like they easily could have gone with the message
No, yeah,
if she like showed emotion in that, which is weird because she's been a really good character this whole show. And
yeah.
I still highlight. Oh no.
You broke.
Oh, that's back.
Yeah, no, I think that's what they were trying to do with her getting like arresting her mom. I think
Yeah.
they were trying to like show that it requires sacrifices to be a hero, and you have to do the right thing even when, I mean, it goes against like, the ones you're trying to protect,
Yeah.
whatever. um but yeah, it definitely fell flat, like what you said. It just like didn't really stick. And I think it would have been more powerful if the mom had died, or, I mean, not everything requires death, but in this case,
Mhm.
like, I don't know.
And I love how, like, with the exception of Kingpin, there wasn't really like a bad antagonist. Like
Yeah,
Maya was not even a bad person. She was just mad that Ronan killed her dad, which is completely justifiable, even though she's
yeah,
part of the mafia. The mom is just trying to, so not like Vulture, but like she was just trying to do the best for her family
yeah.
from what she was given. And who's the other antagonist? That might have been
That's
it.
pretty much it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yelena. Yelena was she
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
really, but
Yeah,
like
and Kazi.
she was like kind of an antagonist for part of it. But like I like how like three of the main threats were like not really, like not everyone has to be a super villain who's trying to conquer the world, I kind of
Yeah,
like that because the flag smashers were like
yeah,
they were so like they felt lame. These people felt like they had meaning to
yeah.
them. So
I mean, just touching on the flag smashers, I think we talked about it in Falcon Winter Soldier podcast, but um I think they had the potential to be really good villains, or a really good like,
yeah, it was an interesting idea.
yeah, like it was, I mean, a compelling villain always starts with something that you can almost like justify, like what you said. Like Thanos, uh what's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm spacing.
From
Black Panther. What is his name?
Killmonger.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was bad. Yeah, Killmonger, whatever. They have like these goals that you can almost see that are like justifiable, but they go against, like, they're just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah,
I think the Flag Smashers had that potential, but then I don't know. They're just like, their whole purpose got really skewed, and just like it was really inconsistent. And it just made them like weird. It just, yeah. But for Maya, I think her character is complex. What she's going through is complex. I think there's a lot to be explored in her own show. And I was gonna say, I wish they would have explored it more here, but like, more thinking back on it, I think it would be cool to see her get her own story and
yeah,
like more spotlight in her own show,
yeah.
rather than exploring in this, because this show is already juggling a lot. It has Kingpin, it has Maya, it has Yelena. Um, there's a lot going on in this
Mm.
finale. There was like three separate fights going on at the same time. Um, which I don't think they did poorly, but I don't think they did amazing.
I think it just felt abrupt because there's so many different arcs and stories, and they kind of culminated in like a weird fashion. It's just like
Yeah,
they're kind of bouncing around from thing to thing. I did like for if you like break it down individually, like I liked it. Like
Yeah,
obviously it was
yeah,
gonna happen, but I like how Yelena made amends with Hawkeye. Like she had to come to terms with the fact that he didn't kill her, and like I feel like she didn't really think so the whole time.
yeah.
I think she was just so set on it 'cause she was frustrated. And I really like how they did her blip sequence. I thought it was better than what they did
No,
with
that was so
WandaVision.
cool.
It was a
Yeah,
really good scene. I didn't expect it at all. And it showed her post Black Widow trying to,
yeah,
put the antidote on all the people, which I kind of liked. But then obviously Maya gets her she had a tough situation with Kazi because like she was like trying to turn him pretty much, but he's like, I'm locked in this life. And
yeah,
obviously that was a tough decision. So they closed everyone's like arc just a little quick.
yeah. Um, yeah, for Hawkeye and Yelena, I was thinking about it of how they could have improved it. And I mean, it just seems in Hawkeye's character, but then also it goes against, but whatever. If he was like, no, I did kill her, like, because I mean, he obviously feels at fault
Yeah.
for her death,
Her death, yeah.
and in a way, like, he probably thinks that he is I mean, he is the cause of her death, like,
Technically,
um,
yeah.
but at the same time, I don't think he would have been like, kill me, like I deserve this, just because of his family.
Hmm.
Um, so I think that's why he was going the route of trying to convince her, like, yeah, she sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I think the idea of showing how close Clint and Natasha were with the whistle was cool. A cool way to turn Yelena. I think it could have
Yeah.
been done better.
I just wish I'd like I don't think they did that in her own movie, right? Black Widow?
I was thinking about it and I was
Because
like,
it would have hit more if it was like a callback to something,
yeah,
but I
no,
either didn't remember it or it didn't happen in the end.
same. I think it did. Like, I don't know why they would just do something random.
But the way they had to explain it made me feel like
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
do it because they're like,
I
oh,
don't
that's my
know.
childhood whistle. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, maybe this didn't happen before.
I know,
Oh well.
yeah. I don't know. I thought I was like, maybe I'm just forgetting. Like I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think that Maya and Kazi's fight was like well done, just in the fact that they're on opposite spectrums of
Yeah,
things.
it was like an emotional battle.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they're in the same crew, but they're going up, they see like the world in different ways.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and like his whole I think Kazi's character could have been done a lot better. Like his motivations were pretty cool.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I think what they are trying to go for was like his whole life he's been second in command, and he just wanted to get leadership,
Hmm.
or at least that's what it felt like. Just
Yeah.
because I mean he's the one who betrayed
The dad.
Maya's dad
Yeah.
and gave him up, and I think in a way he was doing that just so he could finally be in command, and then he was put in second again with Maya. Um, I think that's what they're trying to go with. That the final battle was like he's over it. Like he can't go back now. He wants the
Hmm.
leadership, and I think Hawkeye kind of said the same thing. Like when they were talking in the car, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, he like
and he was
snuck in.
he said something about it. Like that. Are you gonna just like I don't remember what he said, but I think it was relating to that.
I think in terms of like this, oh, I don't talk about Kingpin, but first, just like we're comparing it to other shows, and now we're talking about like the emotional stakes between characters. I loved Loki's finale, but this is probably the best finale of the shows, only because they close the arcs of the characters. They have emotion and they set up stuff. Loki, as much as I loved it and I like that it wasn't a final battle, it really was just kind of set up for other stuff. And they didn't really close every arc, but I
Yeah,
think that's because there's going to be a season two. So
yeah, yeah,
this finale was not amazing, and it honestly left me a little disappointed, but it's probably the most well-rounded one, as much as I loved the Loki one. So
yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I think I personally like Loki's finale better just because it wasn't this huge third act that you would
yeah,
see in a movie.
no, I was so thrilled they didn't like do that again
Yeah, no, because
because
I mean that's what our complaints were for WandaVision and Falcon
and
Winter
then they did it.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Hawkeye's was fine just because it wasn't like this huge CGI fest. I guess
Yeah.
like Falcon Winter Soldiers wasn't either. It just wasn't done well. I don't think.
Yeah.
Um, and I still think they stuck to this idea of the characters being first. I mean,
The
I think
characters
they,
like,
yeah,
yeah, they
they
carried.
carry. Yeah,
Because dude, we were talking about like Bucky and Sam. They're not they're not meant to carry a show, but they probably could with better writing
yeah,
because they work so well together, I guess, because they kind of butt heads, but they both have Steve in common. But like you said, Hawkeye got screwed over for like 20 movies. And
yeah,
it's not like he's meant to carry a show, but he did because they
yeah,
gave him someone to mentor, they gave him conflict, and they gave him good writing, you know? So this show proved to me that Falcon and Winter Soldier wasn't just because those two characters are meant to be leads. Like,
yeah. No, yeah. I'm just upset that they just didn't explore Bucky's
it
whole.
was just the
It's
Falcon
just,
show,
yeah,
and it wasn't interesting, really.
yeah. I mean, his whole arc was just. I mean, he didn't really have an arc. If I'm being
Yeah,
honest,
he
like
had
he
a
was just
no. He
becoming Captain America. Like his character didn't change.
that's why I'm. Yeah, I saw a review. It was like some of the shows are a little not disposable, but like okay, well this is a little sidetrack, but in the Multiverse of Madness trailer,
No, I did see this.
they
Yeah, yeah.
completely disregard like the
Wanda's
Wanda thing. So
thing.
it's like
Yeah.
all it's new is she has a costume, and now with this one, at the end of Endgame, he accepts the Captain America shield. So he's like, okay, I'll become Captain America. Then the whole
And
show
then
he
he doesn't
struggles it,
become
and then
Captain America.
but then he
Yeah,
finishes just doing the same thing. Like
yeah, yeah.
so you could completely skip the show. Like it,
They just get
yeah.
new suits.
So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I like Hawkeye. It was not just a straight line; it was actual like arc.
Yeah. Um. No, yeah. I mean, Hawkeye's character has just always been interesting. I think. I mean, I think the point that almost everyone realized was in Age of Ultron, he finally did get a little more screen time and like
Yeah.
some actual good writing and lines. Um.
Then he honestly takes the back seat all the way until Endgame when he becomes
Yeah.
Ronin.
No.
So
Yeah.
yeah, he's just
And
kind of been in the back.
and even like Ronan and his storyline got sidelined, didn't it? I mean, they couldn't include it. There's no way.
Yeah, there was no space, but
Yeah.
they like hinted at it.
And then finally in this show, we see him um like talk about Ronan, and I don't know. I just think that Hawkeye was finally done right. And I think Kate's character complimented him really well.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in the mid-season review, but like Marvel, okay, the original Avengers, there's 5 dudes and like 1 girl.
Mhm.
Like obviously they're moving towards like having more female leads. And like when people don't like the female leads, I feel like people like the general public's like, wow, you just don't want like strong females.
Yeah,
But
I know.
Yelena and Kate Bishop have kind of proven to me that like you can have a strong female lead that is well liked by everyone because you're giving them more character. My biggest complaint is always going to be Captain Marvel. She just doesn't have many characteristics besides she's the first female led MCU superhero, you know? But they give like charisma to Yelena and Kate
Yeah.
that's new and fresh and not just a copy and paste of the average hero.
Yeah. No, I think it's just the reason that most of the time when they try to do these things is because they're forcing,
Yeah.
in a way, like they're forcing female leads, or they're forcing um I mean, I wouldn't say they're forcing Shang-Chi. Like,
They're
I mean,
not. It's just they're
yeah,
definitely highlighting it
but
like to
yeah, no,
be
I
what
think
it
when they're
is.
just focusing on the main message of like of that, it doesn't. You're not gonna like the character because there's no character traits
Yeah.
other than the fact that like she is a woman. That's
Yeah.
it, and it's like
Wanda
okay,
is a woman and she honestly, as many complaints I have with WandaVision, she had a pretty good like
yeah,
I don't know, complexity to her character. She went through,
yeah,
stuff and she handled
yeah,
it weirdly, but like still.
um, yeah, um, for yeah, I mean, yeah, just on the characters like Hawkeye, I just like I mean, I just like the fact that their relationship, like slowly, even over these 6 episodes, it felt like
Yeah.
really slow. Not slow, but they took their time of building a good relationship between these two um main characters, and like they showed it in little instances. Like I mean, I personally really like the Christmas scene where
Yeah, I like that
she's
too.
like
That was a good scene.
like let's celebrate, and like she's trying to like give him
Christmas,
some, yeah, Christmas,
like family.
if he can't see his family, yeah. um and then I like the scene when uh like in the finale when Hawkeye's like, yeah, you took on Kingpin all by yourself, like I'm proud
Yeah.
of you. I thought that was really sweet and
I,
like heart
I also
touching.
like how like they showed in the first episode her origin because she watched Clint, save her life.
Yeah,
And
and they
she
finally,
tells him at the like I
yeah,
liked that too. Like they have so many good moments together.
yeah. No, I just think their relationship works really well. And I knew it. I was like, they went home for Christmas. Like, she's in the car. She's
Yeah, no,
definitely
you
in the
knew
car.
it.
Yeah,
No, yeah. I told Cameron, he's like, no, where is she? And then like you could hear her talk in the back.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people find Kate's character annoying almost just because she is like a little quirky. I mean, I guess quirky is
Yeah, she not sure she has like attitude, but she like talks back and is like kind
yeah,
of stands up for herself. But I personally like that. I think that's
yeah.
fun. So
No, I think her character is really cool. And I mean, there's a way to do arrogance right, and there's a way to do arrogance wrong. And I
yeah.
think they did it right for
I
this. And
mean,
I,
yeah.
yeah, whenever I talk about arrogance in a character, I always go back to Tony Stark just because I
Yeah.
think he's like the perfect example of like having an arrogant character that has charisma.
Hmm.
And I think Kate's character kind of borrows from Tony's, like in a way, of doing the same
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, you could see it the most when she's talking to Elena because she clearly has no clue to handle a situation like that, but she's
Yeah,
still trying to keep like her confidence, but she's
yeah,
naive. Like it's
yeah.
it's done very well.
And I thought Yelena and her relationship, even though it was kind of brief, I thought it was
Yeah,
really cool
it
and
was.
funny.
Everyone's commenting on that, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
Like them in the elevator, it's just like funny stuff like that because they're not
yeah,
enemies, but they have
yeah,
conflicting goals, obviously.
yeah,
Until um, we keep comparing it to Falcon and Winter Soldier because like I don't know. When we went into Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think we expected Falcon and Bucky to have their arcs, and we expected good action sequences because it was supposed to be the standard action show, and we kind of got that, but it fell flat. Like I couldn't pick out a single action sequence that was memorable in that show,
yeah. I
but
don't
this one
remember
had
either.
like the one shot kind of thing in the car. Like I thought that
Mhm.
was nice, and then I liked the one when they escape their captivity or whatever, and that's like the first action scene together. And then I liked Kate versus Kingpin. I thought that was hilarious because it like showed how much she was trying, and Kingpin is just like, get off me. Like
Yeah,
I like what they did with the action. And then on the ice skating rink with all the arrows, there's a
yeah,
ton of good action sequences. I didn't expect that.
yeah. Um, I thought the sequences were definitely good. Um, yeah, I mean, touching on the Kingpin fight,
Yeah,
um, I think Kingpin's character was forced just a little
yeah.
bit
It was
into the MCU. It wasn't really a fluid. I mean, they only had one episode to try to get his whole character in. And it was kind of it's exactly what it felt like. And I think I don't know. I don't know what they could have done better. I mean, I don't think he really had to have a fight scene, if I'm being honest. He
yeah.
could have just
He could have been used less if I'm being honest. Like
yeah, he
I
could have
want to
just
say
stayed in
he
the
was
shadows.
yeah, I want to say he was underused, but at the same time, I don't think so. I think the great part about him in this show was like we only saw him for one frame in the fifth
Yeah,
episode. It was like, wow, this is the guy behind the scenes, and then we see him kind of a decent amount, and it's like, okay, I don't know if I needed that, but
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, because I mean, I just feel like Kingpin's character thrives when he isn't actually doing the fighting. I mean, that's
yeah,
his whole thing is like he's a crime boss. He's not
yeah.
I mean, he does get his hands dirty, but it's not very often. Um, and I
Perfect.
don't
Yeah.
know.
The perfect example for me is when he's in prison with the Punisher.
Yeah,
Tells
yeah,
the Punisher to do something, then he just releases all the cells and he has to fight. Like that's him in an action sequence, but not actually doing action. I like that type of stuff with Kingpin.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think their characters are very different, but I mean, in a way, he's similar to the Dark Knight's Joker, just because
Yeah. So
um
much power over others.
yeah, I mean, he is like trying to control the city,
Mhm,
and like he is this like calculating character,
mhm.
thinks things through. Um,
I,
yeah,
I think for the most part, he like maintained his character. Like his acting was exactly the same.
yeah,
The way he spoke and his like the way he went about things, it was all pretty much the same as Daredevil. It was weird seeing him get tossed around like a rag doll, like with the explosions and
yeah.
I don't know. It was all and the way he moved, like I promise you he looks bigger. Like I was
Yeah, I think
watching a
there
scene.
was a fat suit they were saying.
No, he's most
It's
definitely
weird.
like bigger, like or with CG or something, because Kate's literally like jumping on him like she's a
No,
child.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
He was not that big in Daredevil, but anyway, he's just like I really did not approve of the fake out death because he is by no means dead after they just
No,
introduced
yeah, he's
Daredevil,
definitely
and
not. No.
It was just
Um,
not. It just didn't hit. I was just like, why are we doing this? Because there's no way he's actually dead.
yeah. No, I think what made him such a good villain in Daredevil was the fact that Daredevil could not get to him, like, because he is seen in the public as a good guy.
Mhm.
He makes all these donations, and you can like feel the frustration of the
Oh yeah,
character,
because you're on
especially in
his
season
side.
3. Like he breaks, like he's gonna kill him because he thinks that's the only way that he can finally stop him. Um, and in this, like, I don't know, he doesn't have that. He is. Everyone knows his name. Like no one knows his name as Wilson Fisk.
That was the great part is he literally couldn't find him by name for half this
Yeah,
first season, and then he finally finds him, but he can't even get to him physically. Like it was,
yeah,
I don't know. I like that part of him being. I guess you don't want to do it all over again, but like
yeah, yeah,
he's not as not mysterious. Just I don't know.
yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
He's brought down to earth a little too much. No, that's not the right way to say
Yeah,
it.
but like he is, like, everyone knows him as a criminal, so I just don't think he has like the same control as he does.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
What do we do with him going forward? Like, what is he just going to be in projects, or is I mean, they just got Daredevil back in him in the same week. Like,
Yeah. Um, I'm hoping, I don't know, because I don't know how they did it in the comic book, but obviously this, I saw I looked up the comic, or I didn't look it up, I just saw it. The
yeah,
comic book scene is literally exactly the same.
yeah. I know she has like the gun to his head, and
Yeah, and
I
like they
saw it.
say almost like the same things. Um, and then it cuts off, like, I mean, not off screen because it's a comic book, but does
Yeah,
it show him getting shot and then he's like blind? And I don't know how they do it, but I think it could be cool to see him blind just because that is Daredevil's whole thing, and it could
hmm
be see like how they have this similarity, but then they're like completely different. I don't know. I'm guessing that's how they kind of explored it.
yeah.
Um,
What I
but
think is well, I think in the comics, what's interesting is Daredevil. Like they saw it in Into the Spider Verse, but I think Daredevil's or Kingpin's a Spider-Man villain for
yeah.
like a lot of the stories. So that would be interesting to see how he plays into that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far you are into Spectacular Spider-Man, but obviously you've heard of like the big man.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was. Yeah. Are
Um, it isn't Kingpin, but
you serious?
no, it's not.
I
But it's
100% thought it was. I'm
no,
on like
I thought
episode
I did
4.
too. No, it's not Kingpin, but it's literally like a really similar character, like beat for beat how it is in Daredevil.
I 100% thought it was Kingpin.
Yeah, no, I swear, like they're the same, like they're exactly the same,
Ugh, that's so weird.
but it's just a
Anyway,
different name. Um, yeah. So I mean, I can see how they can be, because I'm Daredevil and Spider-Man's characters are kind of similar in a
morally.
way, just because I mean Spider-Man has that quippiness and like snarkiness,
Hmm.
and but like both of them want to do right.
And don't kill and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean Daredevil is obviously grittier and darker, but um
Yeah.
they live by the same moral code. Um, so I think that's why it works, just because they can't go out and just kill this crime boss. I'm guessing that's how they explored it in Spider-Man stories.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think this show did the best, like we were talking about earlier, but how they set up stuff while closing their own show. Because I honestly like I thought when Loki happened, I was like, finally, it's going to affect other stuff, and like it gave us What If, and like it obviously I think it tied into No Way Home, right? Because it just opened up the idea of the multiverse.
yeah, yeah,
I don't really know though, but it doesn't feel like Loki's had the immediate effect that I expected it to.
yeah,
Whereas I'm pretty sure we're gonna see these people in Hawkeye soon. Like I don't know when we'll see Kate and Yelena, but I would assume it's in the same project. I don't know
I'm hoping so. I really like the relationship.
because uh, I, it seems like a Young Avengers type of thing is on the way. Maybe not necessarily that story, but like yeah, they have the next generation kind of coming up.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I just they're obviously not done, but I'm just wondering when we'll see them next.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll show up in the Echo show. I think Kingpin
Yeah.
might, but I just don't see. I mean, is that show taking place now, or is
I'm
it?
assuming it's after. I hope that show also doesn't overstay its welcome. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It better create a compelling story, and not just be making it for the heck of it. Because she's an interesting character, but if the story isn't compelling enough, then I feel like that will get old pretty quick.
Yeah. No, I think her character is interesting. I just don't. I don't want to say I don't like her, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I want to
Well,
spend that much
like
time with her.
if Kate wasn't in the show, like I don't know how good it would have been because
Yeah.
Hawkeye is a good character, but their dynamic is kind of what kept
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
fun to
Yeah.
watch.
Exactly.
So I'm assuming Echo will be alone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um. Yeah. Maybe Daredevil will be in it. We'll see. I
Yes,
don't
more
know. I
Daredevil,
don't know when he's
please.
gonna show up.
But they've done a good job setting up all these characters who are not just kind of floating around out there, so they
Mhm.
can kind of pull their pieces and use them when they need to.
Yeah.
I was very surprised, not trying to pat myself on the back, but I was surprised that the mom was not predicted more because I feel like everyone jumped on Sharon as the power broker. Obviously, that was a little more
Yeah.
prominent, but I don't know. I really did not see that one as much. I saw people saying Jack was like super shady and obviously Kingpin, but I don't know.
I just feel like Jack's character was like the obvious choice for being the
Yeah,
bad guy. Like it's never gonna. I
be the
would say
first.
I want to say it's never gonna be that obvious, but it was in Falcon Winter Soldier, which made that twist so just like
That was so
boring.
like
Like
you could tell they thought they were doing something. It was just like we knew this like
yeah, no,
immediately.
it was so obvious. But yeah, no, Jack was just like from the beginning. Kate doesn't like him. He has all these swords. Like he's just suspicious.
It's
From
just funny how he turned out to be this complete goofball who like fences.
I know, dude, his character is just like
He just becomes like crazy. It's pretty. I thought it was funny though because it was
no,
like
yeah,
you guys got duped because he thought he was evil. I thought that was
yeah,
good.
no. I think they just like have a lot of fun. Like they're not taking most of this stuff seriously.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I just most of the characters are just like thrown in there for humor.
hmm
Um, I don't know.
yeah. But
I
is
think
it the best
I don't
Marvel
know.
Disney Plus show?
I mean, I
I
gotta
liked
watch.
Loki, but
Yeah,
I feel like it
Loki.
wasn't as elevated until we got to the finale. Like not that's not necessarily true, but that finale really punched it home for me. That like sold me like this is the best show at the moment. I don't know.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, I really like Loki from the beginning, and I was really worried it was gonna choke the finale.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
also
it
yeah.
followed through. And I appreciate the fact that they took a risk and it kind of paid off. Hawkeye like obviously played it safe for the most part. Um, but I don't know. I think Hawkeye was just refreshing just because I mean we finally got a taste of the old MCU a little bit
hmm
again. Just because I don't know, it's something that I've been missing. I feel like just with the new shows, they're just like taking things in a new direction that isn't. It's just interesting. Like and yeah, I mean, thinking back on it, the characters are the reason that I don't love those movies.
Yeah.
Like Shang-Chi, I mean, I, I don't know. The main character is just kind of boring sometimes. And like
Yeah.
Eternals, there's just too many characters to like them. I don't know. Like there's so many
Yeah,
to
that
focus
movie's
on.
dropped considerably for me
Yeah,
since.
it's just hard to like it when it was just doing way too much. And I think I mean, they definitely have improved the cinematography of Phase 4 as a whole.
Yeah.
Has been pretty cool. CGI really good.
hmm
But yeah, their characters are choking a little bit. Just they just don't have that MCU like charisma.
Yeah, and the ones
Um,
that do now stand out, like Kate Bishop and
yeah,
Florence and Hawkeye, and I guess it's
yeah,
everyone from this show.
yeah,
Loki also did,
yeah. But
and
I
Lady
mean,
Loki. Are we
Loki.
seeing Sylvie again? Like I'm sure she'll be in season 2, but
Yeah. Where did she even end up? I don't remember.
at the place because she killed uh the
She,
one who remains.
yeah. But then Loki got teleported to a new reality or new whatever. She wasn't with them.
No.
Yeah. Um.
Um. Oh, Jinx.
Yes. But yeah, I don't know. There's just like Phase 4 has been kind of crazy. They're just like throwing these ideas out there, and I hope they can follow through with all of them.
It was also crazy because there were so many things postponed, and then now
Yeah.
that we just like got a barrage of content. Not complaining. It was just I think that's why it's felt a little bit all over the place because tonally everything is so different.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It'll just be interesting to see where they go, just because they now have Eternals as their own separate thing. Spider-Man is pretty much on his own. Um, then they have stuff from Falcon Winter Soldier that's still kind of out there that can be pretty much summarized in a movie, but they're
Mhm.
not like huge threats. Loki is just like, I don't know how they're going to deal with Kang, if he's going to be the new big bad or if he's just going to kind of be written off as an Ant-Man villain. Um, yeah. And then we have, I mean, this show has introduced new characters, new threats. Um, most of them are small scale. Obviously, Kang is the main one. It's like has the potential to be the new, yeah, what I said, big bad. But I mean, they haven't explored his character at all. But I guess it took them a lot of movies to get to Thanos. So um, yeah, it'll just be crazy. I don't
I,
know.
it's kind of funny because Spider-Man has been like he's been so MCU tied, and like that's
Yeah,
a lot of people's big complaint. I don't care, but now he's not, I feel like all his projects are going to be kind of like almost standalone Spider-Man movies, like
no,
people
yeah, I think so.
have been wanting. Yet he'll still be in the MCU, so I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I
It'll,
guess he'll still be involved in stuff because people know about Spider-Man. They just don't know about Peter.
yeah. That I just have so many like just that movie.
We just have to wait. Like
Yeah,
honestly, it's
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, we just still don't know the threat of the multiverse. Like it just has not been. We haven't gotten any answers, pretty much. We
Yeah, I
thought we were
wonder how
gonna get
much
some
of
in this
Doctor
No Way
Strange
Home, but
2, like I
yeah,
wonder how much of that will be more setup or how much will like explain stuff.
multiverse. Yeah,
I don't even know what to expect with that
multiverse
movie.
is a concept that we know frighteningly little.
I don't even like I don't know the plot of Multiverse of Madness, and I don't know if I even have hype for it. I'm just excited because No Way Home, and he's coming out of that. So
Yeah, I'm surprising they're bringing in what's the name, Mordo?
yeah, except he's just like a dude now. He's
Yeah, I don't know.
he's just talking to Doctor Strange. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously he was set up to be the next villain at the end of the first one, but I just didn't think they were gonna bring him in this movie just because it's the multiverse.
Yeah. Do we want to try to rank our phase four so far or no? 'Cause I feel like it could
Um,
be extremely difficult.
yeah, it's gonna be hard to get past like the first few. I think as of now, obviously No Way Home is first.
Yeah.
It's so close. I mean, for now, I'm just gonna say Loki just because it
Yeah.
did take a really big leap, and I think it executed it well. Then Hawkeye, then probably What If, and then from there it kind of gets a little,
Difficult.
yeah, just because they're all like this like weird in between of good and
Yeah, like
bad.
I don't really know how you're supposed to rank WandaVision versus Shang-Chi.
Yeah, they're all
I
just
think
like things. I
okay.
mean, I don't
I
know.
have to I have to do a little bit of an apology to WandaVision. I don't think it was amazing, but looking back on it, I don't know if it's like nostalgia after because it's almost been a year now, which is kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it's weird.
But
Yeah,
like the time at which that came out, that was the first Marvel content in a year and a half. It was completely different and new because it like the vibe and tone it went for was so weird. But like I can vividly remember anticipating each episode each week, and like it wasn't the finale was just a little like it was definitely disappointing, but I think it affected my entire view on the show, and I think I
no, yeah,
didn't
I agree.
appreciate what it was in the moment. I don't think it was as bad as I felt at the tail end of it, you know.
Yeah, no, I think that the finale definitely altered my view for sure. Like I remember saying I thought the show was gonna be pretty good, and the finale just like ruined it for me.
Yeah.
I can't even look at it the same way.
It was also a little bit like detrimental to it that Falcon and Winter Soldier didn't come first when it was supposed to. I think that would have been a better entrance back to the MCU in terms of like
Yeah,
it's not a sitcom dealing with Wanda and crazy stuff, but I don't
yeah.
know.
Um, yeah, no, Phase 4 just feels it's definitely distinct. I mean,
Find its
obviously,
footing, I think.
yeah, yeah,
But they're doing bigger and crazier, so Black Widow though, like, is definitely like the black sheep of like it should have come out like 4 years ago, and it
I know.
totally feels like it.
Yeah, no, it would have been very. I think it would have been a pretty good movie if it came out earlier. Just
Like
because it's
if it
like
just came out between
now.
Civil War and
Yeah,
Infinity War, like it was supposed to. I don't know. It just was so random that it came out now.
I know, but it's okay.
whatever.
It's still good. I still like
No,
it.
it was. No, I still like it too. My thoughts haven't really changed on it.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it more than Shang-Chi.
Yeah, it's next to Shang-Chi for me as well.
I think it might be better, but
I
we'll
think so
see.
too. I think it's a little biased though because it reminds me more of the old MCU that we used to have.
Exactly. Yeah. I miss it, dude. It sucks.
Yeah, I do as well. But I think Eternals might be the worst MCU project this phase.
Mm,
Falcon Winter
Falcon Winter
Soldier might
Soldier.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's Falcon Winter Soldier. But
See, I remember coming out of the theater of Eternals. I was like, yeah, that was a pretty good movie. And I thought
dude,
it
I
had,
did too. I would like everyone was like pissed about it, and I was like, that was like good.
it's just like when you start to think about it, the whole movie just
No,
falls
it
apart.
because
It's
the
like,
things I realized the things I like were the ideas, not the people or the stuff or the plot
yeah,
and the
yeah.
story. And oh gosh,
It's just like it,
I
it's
liked the setup.
nice to watch with your eyes.
Top three MCU movie. Remember that?
Dude,
He just curses things.
you're just trying to be a new Guardians, and like you're just not. That movie is just so good. Like I mean, I just they need to just execute characters better. Like all the shows or all the top movies in the MCU, amazing characters. Like you love them. Like
Yeah,
Guardians.
that was a horrible idea to do a team up with characters we've never seen before.
Yeah, I know. It's just
It
like
was like doing the Avengers without meeting the Avengers first. It was like the Justice League. They kind of like no, that wasn't
Justice League
like
was
that, but
so rushed. No, but it
they
was definitely
they
rushed.
like but you don't know any of the characters for like two of them. This one we knew none of them and there were like 12. So
Yeah, no, I mean you can do it in a good way. Guardians did it in an amazing way, where
yeah,
you didn't know the characters.
because you weren't chasing people around and trying to like meet up
Yeah,
with them.
but they had like this uniting moment of
Yeah,
escaping from jail that brought them together as a team. They formed the Guardians of the Galaxy, and all the characters are funny and like likable. I don't know. So I want to see more Guardians. I miss Guardians.
that movie's so good.
It is.
I also this is off topic now because I know it's like Hawkeye and speculation, but I the only thing about it, Guardians Volume 2 is I didn't like the plot that much. I think the characters and the vibe carry it. I wasn't a
Yeah.
huge fan of Ego being the living planet, and I don't know.
Yeah. Um, I just think they kind of the whole idea of him being his dad just like
Yeah, it was
didn't really shine
just a
through. Like it was just
contrast
weird.
to like the
Yeah.
fun first one that was like, and its villain was obviously a little stereotypical, but they had fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the first one they're just trying to save the world. Like that's it kind of. And the son
Mhm.
has like personal ties, obviously. And I mean they're still trying to save the world, but it's just like it yeah, I get what you're saying. Like Ego's character is just kind of weird. Um
So what's coming for us next year exactly?
okay, we
We have
have
Multiverse of Madness,
yeah, and then
Miss
we
Marvel, Moon Knight, I think.
that I'm actually excited for that.
Yeah.
Just
And I
'cause
like
I don't know
Oscar
who
Isaac
those
being the lead because he's actually cool.
who?
Poe
Who is it Poe?
from Star Wars. Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
the Moon
even
Knight.
look. Right.
She Hulk looks good because Daredevil might be in it, I heard, because she's a lawyer.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And normal Hulk
Um,
will be in that. Thor Love and Thunder, right? Or is that pushed back? That might have been pushed back.
I don't know. I think
I
it's
know
2022.
I know Black Panther 2 is also supposed to be, but I think they also might have pushed that back because Shuri's actress was being
Is Guardians 2022?
I think it's 2023.
What about the Christmas special?
I think that's the end of next year or this like 2022. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why. I think they do it that year and then it
I don't
leads
know what
into the
even that is. Like what?
I don't know, but it sounds like it's mocking the Star Wars one, which makes me laugh.
um, yeah. I mean, how many of those projects are part of Phase 4? Are they all Phase 4?
Yeah, I don't think Phase 5 is even like
A thing.
I heard Blade was like the only Phase 5 thing they've announced.
I mean, they've
Fantastic
introduced this
Four.
character, right? Kind of. He was the
Yeah.
voice.
Oh yeah, he just like had a line or whatever at the end.
That was weird. I don't know why they would do Blade. I don't. I don't know.
I mean, the first like Avengers movie didn't come out till 4 years after the MCU was created, so you have
They
to
did a
imagine
good
we
thing.
have like until we're out of college until we're gonna get some culmination of this.
So sad.
Yeah. Well, there better be a good theater in San Luis Obispo.
We're going there.
We're going, everyone,
All of us. We're gonna watch Marvel movies.
and we'll be able to podcast in the same room.
We will. Yeah. I don't know. Phase 4 is gonna be interesting. I don't know. I'm scared a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. When they do things well, like they ended it like I'm so happy they ended it well because start was shaky, man. That was I didn't really I don't know, I wasn't very confident in how they started this year off.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But they
yeah.
ended
No,
with
they
Hawkeye
definitely.
and I am.
Yeah.
And Loki, honestly. Like the whole ending was
And what
just
if?
and what if? What if was so good. I
I
liked
know
what if.
it's such a standalone thing that I'm glad they did, even though it might also tie into Multiverse Madness. I don't know.
Nah, whatever.
I still don't know if that's him.
I feel like it's not, but also maybe. I don't really
But
know.
who else would it be?
Another
Just like a
one.
dark. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. But it just goes against Strange Supreme's like whole character arc at the end. But I mean, it's a
Yeah,
multiverse,
that's why I
so
was
we can do whatever they want, kind of. Um, I don't know. It's kind of it.
yeah.
I think Hawkeye was. I mean, it was just good. Like it when it didn't take itself seriously, it joked around about its villains. Um,
It
I
also
think the
snuck up
show.
on me. Like I had no anticipation.
Yeah, no, I was not. I mean, when they announced it as a Christmas show, I was like, it was a little weird. For the longest time, I swear this was going to be about his daughter. I promise you, I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought they like casted a new. I thought they casted Haley Steinfeld as his daughter because he calls her Hawkeye, and I thought that's what they were referring to, and I just like did not realize it was just like
Oh,
a
that was a different
completely new
person.
character. Until like they released the trailer, and I was like, oh,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
It made you yawn. All right.
Oh, the watch and the post
Yeah, I
credit
guess
scene.
she's a person.
Yeah, she's a
She
shield
was a
agent.
shield agent.
I don't know
There we
if that's
go.
going to be explored or what. I mean, they have to show what the watch does, right? Like,
I heard it was the Agents of Shield reference, but I don't really know.
but
Apparently, she
like,
was
why is it so
Mockingbird, or
special? They were trying to steal it in the beginning, or
she's
they did
she was
steal
an
it.
agent of Shield,
Okay.
so that's pretty cool.
Um,
I don't know. I wouldn't
and
be surprised if they just didn't go anywhere with it. So
then there's the post credit scene, which is your favorite.
I was I hated that so much.
No, okay. I saw a comment. I was like, they can't be giving you this much. Like, I'm glad they did a joke just because they just gave you all this new stuff in No Way Home. It's like their way of showing like we're not always going to be
I
revealing
just
things,
wish they would
whatever.
have like cut to someone in the audience,
That's what
like
everyone was
whether it was like
saying.
it should have just been like Sam and Bucky or something because they miss like Cap and I don't know something like
No,
that.
no,
Like
people were saying they wish there was Spider-Man just like alone in the theater watching the play.
okay, okay. The theory that Spider-Man was going to be in that finale was the most ridiculous thing I've heard.
He just got his
But
movie and he just shows up in the show.
yeah, like I don't know how that would make sense at all. But and
And then
then
people were saying they wish they saw Scott Lang. That would have been funny. I think
that
that
would
would
have
have
been
been
hilarious.
yeah.
Or
Just
Matt
because he
Murdock,
was
just because
also
I
in
like
the
him.
play for some reason.
Yeah, that was funny.
No, someone was like, I saw this theory of like why he was in the play, and it was because he was in Endgame and they went to a different
Oh,
reality. But then that's not how the like time
yeah.
travel
Wait, that's
works.
not how. Yeah,
So then, yeah, I don't know. But that would have been a cool reference. But yeah, that they uh, specifically said they created like a completely new reality. Um,
I'm very like I don't. I feel like we're not going to see these characters again for like 2 years, so it's making me sad because
It's gonna be a
for what's
while.
lined up, it doesn't really seem like it will come into Multiverse of Madness or maybe She-Hulk. I guess. I guess Echo, but I don't even know if that's started yet.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
it'll
know.
be a while.
Good times.
We just have a lot going on in Phase 4 that
My thought.
hopefully eventually will be brought together in a movie. But I don't know. I mean, when was Guardians introduced? Phase 2, right?
Yes, 2014.
So it took them a whole
Yes.
phase to finally get them to meet the Avengers. So, you know,
You know, White Vision's just flying around the world.
yeah,
Also,
I just he's a power broker.
no more of these.
What's not even a theory? I don't. In what? Why?
Yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier was supposed to release before that show, so that would have been just the most interesting thing if they'd planned that.
Yeah. these shows are just leaving so many loose ends that just like I don't know how they're gonna tie them
No,
all
it's
up.
like it's almost like they don't know what they're gonna do yet. So like we'll just leave these characters here and we can pick and choose when we need them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know if they've planned like how far ahead they planned because obviously these three phases were pretty planned out. Um, and these kind of feel very
This phase is like massive, so
and it's just like so different. Like I mean, phase one had a purpose. Like they were setting up all the heroes for the Avengers, right? And then
yeah.
phase two and three basically just leading up to Endgame. Like
Yeah, they were expanding on their characters then to get to
adding new
Thanos.
characters, and then yeah, finally getting Thanos. These are just like all over the place with like new thing. I mean, they just don't have like a solid uh, connecting like thing, you know. I just can't see the Eternals meeting any of these characters or I mean Shang-Chi I guess has met Wong. Um I don't know. There's a lot going on. It's
It's kind
mainly
of
the
weird.
Eternals. It's just like I what are they gonna do with those people?
I don't. They don't really tie into anything.
I know
So
it's not even an MCU. It's just so different from anything we've ever seen.
it's like I feel like it's bold of us to even assume that there's going to be a team up. Honestly, because like we got rid of like all those characters in Endgame, and it's kind of hard because they define Marvel, and it's like we're moving past them now. It's kind of sucks,
Yeah.
but like if they're not just gonna do like another Endgame at the end of Phase 6 and then just restart again, like I feel like I would not be surprised if they just keep introducing new characters and new stories that don't necessarily need to have a massive team up, but like little team ups, you know,
Yeah.
like say the Young Avengers if they want to do that, or like I don't know something more cosmic with the Guardians and
Yeah.
whatever. They're not the Eternals, but whatever. I just wouldn't be surprised if that's the route they take rather than okay, they're all gonna meet at the end of Phase 6. Someone's gonna die, and then we'll hit restart, and then we'll do it. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that would get repetitive.
I mean, yeah, how long do they think they're gonna go for? You know?
As long as they make money
Yeah, I know.
forever.
Yeah. It's I feel like they went all in for the first three phases and now they're like looking for characters, but they've used almost all the popular ones. I feel like, you know, at least I mean I don't know because I guess I didn't read comic books and I've always grown up with these
Yeah,
characters.
I
I've
think
seen them as
I can't tell if
standalone.
they're the popular ones or if they're popular because we've seen them in movies. Like
Exactly.
I don't really
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know Fantastic
Why
Four
not?
is
Like
supposed to be
obviously
big.
that is true. Yeah. But Spider-Man's obviously like one of the
Yeah,
biggest.
no, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. I don't. I Phase four would be interesting.
that's one
Very.
way. Yeah, it's scary.
I'm glad we'll get more of Hawkeye probably though. It'll be cool. I miss Age of Ultron.
Oh, you know what they could do? They should set up a season 2. If like I feel like that would be. I feel like they if they had it planned already, they would have done it. But like in the post
Yeah.
credit scene, like Loki. But this is one of the few shows I feel like that
That
like is the
can.
most deserving of season 2 because
Yeah.
I don't know where else you fit Kate and Hawkeye and Kingpin currently, or
Yeah.
Matt Murdock. So
No, yeah, because the other shows they didn't have. I mean, they had a sole purpose and they accomplished that purpose by the end of
yeah,
the show. Like WandaVision, only purpose was to finally get her to like release all these people. Pretty
yeah,
much, they did that. And then Falcon Winter Soldier,
had no
Bucky,
purpose.
or I mean, well, Falcon takes on the mantle of Captain
Yeah,
America. That happened. Bucky was supposed to take on the mantle of White Wolf, but that just, dude, just it's such a better storyline. Him like letting go of the Winter Soldier and just like learning to move on. It just sounds so much more interesting.
he didn't do any of that. He just stayed the same.
I mean, they had glimpses.
Yeah,
The
and then
best
he
part of the
didn't
show
go
is
through with it.
yeah, sad, but you know,
I mean, this show I think was supposed to be him dealing with his past with Ronan and moving past Black Widow, and but they did it in a better way where that was only part of the story, and then
yeah,
like these are characters now that could have multiple different adventures. I think that's kind of what Falcon Winter Soldier is supposed to be, but they just completely fumbled it. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
wow, I hated that show.
This is not good. It's not.
I need to watch a review on it again because I feel like we weren't harsh enough. No, that's not true. Because I remember there were
Well,
times where like
yeah,
it feels like we're just hating on this show.
yeah. No, Pete. Some people really like it just because it has Bucky, and people really like Bucky, even though he's just
I like
sidelined
Bucky,
once again.
but they did bad.
Yeah, not a good show. Okay, ready? It's No Way Home, Loki, Hawkeye, What If?
Yep.
Mm,
Black Widow, Shang-Chi,
WandaVision,
WandaVision.
Eternals, fuck Winter Soldier.
What if? Oh, wait, no, you did it. What if?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
What
did
If
it.
was
Nice.
fourth. I think. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much where I would go. I think.
Yeah. I think Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and WandaVision could all be interchanged depending on
Interchangeable.
how I
Yeah, yeah.
feel.
I gotta rewatch them.
Those top four are set, but Hawkeye and Loki could be flipped.
Yeah.
And what if? How like I'm so happy the animated show turned out to be like a top four
Yeah,
as
yeah.
it because I like that. And
It's
they're doing
really
season two. That's another show they're doing season two. So all right.
Okay.
We've been going a while.
Yeah, we have. I knew this was gonna be a longer podcast because I wanted to touch on Phase 4.
Yeah.
But we might revisit Phase 4.
I think
Might
especially after
rewatch.
Doctor Strange too, we're
Yeah,
gonna have a
that too.
whole
I mean, there's
lot
the
of
end of it, yeah.
things.
But we'll rewatch MCU and we'll talk about movies because we haven't touched on older movies. We've mentioned them, but I think it would be nice to have a
It'll be a
list.
refreshing watch as well.
Yes, let's just go back and miss them. Okay, that's gonna be it. Oh, guys, I forgot I forgot to say it at the beginning of the podcast. Spotify listeners or Apple Podcast listeners, we're on
Yes.
YouTube, so check us out there. People on YouTube, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Oh, we're on Google now. It finally loaded.
And just random things I've never heard
Just
of.
there's
Also.
so many like random podcast things, but some of them
Oh,
actually are like getting us views. Like it shows me the statistics of where I
yeah,
get the views
what's
from,
gaining the most?
and like I mean, like 70, more than 75% is Apple Podcasts, I think. And then one of them's like websites. I don't know what that means. It just like it doesn't. I don't think it's an app. It's just like a website, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Spotify. And then there's like this one called Overcast. I think was actually getting like it was like small, but it was something. So might as well be on all of them.
Here's the issue I've run into with the TikTok is I realized that I could only like use clips from something so much because I watch the whole video and I choose the highlights. So there's only so many highlights and there's
Yeah.
only so much I could like pull out. Like the No Way Home one, I like went in because I knew it would work and it did. So now that we have the Hawkeye one, I'll probably have at least 5 or 6 clips for this. But
We have
like, and
seven
if they need to be like
thousand likes.
relevant, yeah, that was amazing. Oh my gosh,
7,000. There's
I
so
gotta look at it
many.
again.
Yeah. No, it's like the top one has like 11,000, then 9,000, then us at 7,000. Guys, Soups liked our comment. I would like to
I know.
mention that on the podcast. He liked it.
I didn't say I'm not following Soups. That's not true.
And then what else? Oh, we are going to be doing we're going to have monetization fairly soon. We're already more than halfway there. We have 27 out of 50 listeners that are required to do host read ads.
How many is it out of what?
50. We
Out
have
of
27.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, they're going to be really short. So I mean, those who like consistently listen, they're not going to take away from anything, and it's going to be us reading it. It's not going to be like Spotify ads that I know of for now. So
Do you start reading it after the 50?
yeah, and then we just have to advertise for Anchor, like the thing that we're using.
Yeah, using. Yeah.
And I mean,
How much? What is the monetization exactly?
we just read. I don't know.
But like, what are we like? Yeah, I was like, what are we
I
getting?
mean, it's probably like nothing, but
it would be fun because money from this.
Yeah. So I'll probably do the ads at the beginning of the podcast, get them over with. So yeah, I mean, if you made it this far, download some of our podcasts on any podcast app that you use. We're pretty much on everything. And then follow us on whatever is on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, where the post credits podcast, it's the and then post and then dash credits and then podcast. Same name for everything. You can look us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Cast.
It'll move up. It'll move up more.
There's just so many. And then TikTok and Instagram, we're at the post credits pod. It's just short clips of our podcast, so they're just kind of highlights.
Oh, we need to have that Last Jedi one. Star Wars is always booming, and especially with the Book of Boba Fett. If I just hashtag Star Wars,
I know.
the
No,
Last
people
Jedi
are
stuff
really
will.
excited for the Book of Boba Fett. I'm just like, I don't
I
know
think
how
it's
I
just
feel
for
about
Star
it.
Wars because I'm definitely not excited. Like,
Yeah.
not that excited.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, we're definitely talking about sequels very soon. We
Yeah.
keep saying it, but we just had to get the No Way Home and
And it
this
needs to
out
be
of the way.
relevant, and this is perfect because now there's gonna be Star Wars content.
Yeah.
In all honesty, Star Wars is a big part of my childhood in the MCU. As much as I love the MCU, so like,
Yeah.
but I'm not that excited for Book of Boba Fett, so it feels kind of weird. But
Yeah. Oh, Money Heist, very good show. You have to watch it, and we got to review.
yeah, I've heard of that. After Spectator
It's really
Spider-Man.
good.
Okay, wait. I gotta get those rankings clearly so that I could clip it for the TikTok.
Oh,
Phase 4. Ready.
Phase 4. Go.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. No, I'll start over. I don't know.
You do yours, I'll do mine afterwards.
It's the
Pretty much
same. But I need to keep it under 15 seconds apparently because then it like blows up more. If you've noticed that, I have to like crop it because it's more
Okay.
likely to. It's a weird
Okay.
thing.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Spider-Man No Way Home. Hawkeye. Loki. What If. Black Widow. Shang-Chi. WandaVision. Eternals. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay. Mine is pretty, I think the same thing. Just ready. No Way Home, Loki, Hawkeye, What If, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, WandaVision, what is that? Falcon Winter
Eternals.
Soldier. Oh, Eternal Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Almost the exact same.
Okay.
Bye. We did
Yeah,
our teams too.
Yeah. So, follow us on everything I said. Like the video, comment. Follow me if you're on YouTube. It's so weird that I have to address people that are on Spotify now, or like whatever.
Yeah, that's how it is being
Look,
big
we
now.
can wave at them, but the people listening can't see us wave.
I mean, are we even
You
waving?
should check
You'll
us out
never
on
know.
YouTube if you're not seeing us wave. Okay, we're gonna end it.
Bye.
Bye.